Now we're going to talk about follow-up for a brand partner. And you could probably hear in my voice, there's something about this one. And here it is. This is a key element to follow-up. But I'm going to straight out tell you, a lot of folks, for some reason, don't like to do it. They feel uncomfortable. And this is where a three-way call comes into play, or an introduction call comes into play. Remember, we've already talked about them watching a couple videos. No one's going to waste their time watching a couple videos and looking at pictures and communicating with you if there's not some kind of interest. One of the worst things to do is to follow up directly with the person without some kind of third party. This is where you'll see the most fallout in your business. This is where you'll hear the stories of people, oh, I've talked to 20 people and gave them product and sent them videos and all this kind of stuff. Now, mind you, I'm just talking brand partner side. The product prospecting side, no, you're not going to do a three-way call or an introduction call or anything like that. But on the brand partner side. But this is, again, where you hear the stories of, I've contacted 20 people and no one's interested. Well, yes, no one's interested. This is key to success, fast success, and duplicatable success. And here's what I mean. Let's just say you're going to interview in corporate America, right? You're going to get a job at whatever position. It doesn't matter. It could be HR, it could be sales, it could be CEO, it could be president, who knows. One of the things that you're going to do in the interview is you're going to be introduced to more folks in the organization. This is an important thing to do. Think about this at car dealerships. When you go to buy a car, right? You could be working on a deal. Where does that salesperson always go? To the sales manager. They're using third party. It's just the way we operate. But many times when we hear the words third party, we get all freaked out like it's a timeshare thing, right? Like, oh my gosh, if I get somebody on the line with my friend Joe, they're going to think that I'm trying to hard sell them. That's not what it is. It's an introduction. And here's the way that these calls go down. And let's just say I'm prospecting my friend Joe or whomever, right? Let's just use the name Joe here. And it's to say, I'm going to get my third party person on the phone with me first. I'm not going to call Joe. I'm not going to set it up. Because again, what's Joe thinking? If you got that call, if you received a call saying, hey, I want to put you on the line with my business partner, Fred, what are you going to think? Oh my gosh, here it comes. Here comes the hard close on me, right? And we're not diverting anything. We're not being sneaky here. Let me explain how this works before you get all emotionally tied into this. And here's the way that it works. I get Fred on the line with me first. Let's say, again, we're going to call Joe. That's the whole intent, is to follow up with Joe. So I'm going to get Fred on. We're going to dial into Joe. Joe picks up the phone. Hey, Tom, how's it going? Oh, Joe, it's going great. You know what? Fred and I, one of my business partners, were just having a conversation about, maybe it's a geographical area that Joe's in. Maybe it's about Joe's entrepreneurship. Maybe it's about Joe's background. Maybe it's some kind of common link there, some kind of common thing that Fred and I would be talking about Joe. And let's just say it's geography, for instance. Joe, Fred and I were just talking about where you're located in the country, and boy, we were making some plans, and your name came up in the conversation. And Joe, all I want to do is introduce you to Fred real quick. Fred and I have worked together for a little bit, or maybe it's a long time. It all depends on obviously who you're talking about and who you're doing the call with. But Fred and I have been working together for a little bit, and Fred's just had some great success. I just wanted to introduce you to him, Joe. Reason being is if things do make sense and Miriam ends up being the right thing for you after you have all the information you need, I just want you to see some of the talent and skills that you'll be working with, because we work as a team. We have a lot of support here. We have websites now, a training, right? We have these kind of things to really help. And Joe, just so you know, or Fred, just so you know a little bit about Joe, Joe's background is da-da-da-da-da-da. And again, I just wanted the two of you to talk. And at that point, that's it. Fred takes over. Fred's not going to hard close. Fred's not going to do anything strange. Fred's not going to make it so the phone call ends and Joe calls you up after the call and go, what were you thinking? This doesn't happen in this company. It's not the way that we do it. So Fred's just going to talk to Joe a little bit about his story. He's going to answer questions. And from there, many a times what you're going to find out is Joe's going to actually enroll into the business. Not all the time, don't get me wrong. And not instantaneously on that call might it happen. Joe might need a little bit more research or a little bit more information. But what you're going to see is the success rate when you do an introduction or a three-way call is 80% better than when you don't. This is going to be the main difference between great success in your business and not so great success in your business. So, and you can just try it a couple times and ask people on your team that have grown to the director level and higher, ask them how these calls work. Ask them, did they feel threatened up front? Most of them will say, oh my gosh, I was so scared to do it, but I did it and it works out. And once it worked out, oh my gosh, I do these all the time. It's the only way to grow your business. So I know this might seem like a little bit of a twist or a change, but this is the way to really grow your organization. How to fast start qualifying within your first 30 days, or more importantly, how to iPad qualify in your first 30 days.